What is good, guys? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I wanted to break down what's going on with Tesla, SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down what's happening to the market this far and why Tesla is dropping the way it is, as we're getting lots of bad news that just continually plagues the share price. But before I break down all this information, before I talk about what the bad news was again and what this means for Tesla moving forward, let me just mention a couple of things. Firstly, I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit $500 into the account, you are guaranteed 20 free stocks. If you deposit $25,000 or more, you're guaranteed 75 free stocks, and the offer ends very soon. Anyways, when it comes to Tesla, we have this symmetrical looking pattern that's developing as Tesla's looking relatively weak right now, especially compared to the market. And we saw Tesla drop pretty hard, almost 3% in just one day. Now, the question is, why is Tesla looking weak like this? How come Tesla did not try to respect this uptrend? And what's going on with the share price? I'll be talking about this over the next couple of minutes. I do want to note that Tesla's looking kind of weak nonetheless, though. So going back, the week that's coming up for the markets is going to be quite important. We have some minor data coming out on Monday, some manufacturing numbers, but for Tuesday through Friday, everything becomes a lot more serious. We have even more manufacturing numbers coming out, housing pricing data that's going to be coming out as well, and more services data that's coming out for Tuesday. For Wednesday, we have the GDP numbers coming out. And also the PCE estimates. The GDP numbers are very important for understanding the strength of the economy and whether or not we're getting closer to a recession. For Thursday, we have the PCE report coming out, not to mention a bunch of Fed speakers. And then finally, for Friday, we have the notorious PMI reports and then the Michigan Consumer Sentiments data. All of this is going to be very, very important. So we'll be watching to see what all of this causes, at least for the markets. We have lots of Fed speakers, lots of data, and it's going to be very heavy between Tuesday and Friday. So I'll be going through all of this with you guys in real time as the data comes out. So we'll be watching for this. I just want to give you guys a heads up about this. For earnings, we do have some big ones coming out. Before the market opens on Monday, we have Berkshire Hathaway. Now, Berkshire can move the entire market. It's Warren Buffett's company, and we're going to see some very, very interesting moves. Now, this could actually help the market bounce. It could even cause the market to sink lower. We'll see what happens for its earnings. I want to break down something else about that in just a few minutes. Then we also have Domino's Pizza in the morning, then Zoom after the market closes alongside Unity. For Tuesday, we have Lowe's in the morning, AutoZone, lots of retail, just a few others. And then after the market closes, we have First Solar, we have Kava, and just a few others. For Wednesday, we also have TJ Maxx, a bunch of other retail stocks coming out. Uh, I'm sorry, for Wednesday before the market opens. And then after the market closes, we have Snow, Marathon, also known as Mara, when you just look at the ticker. CRM, aka Salesforce, and then AMC, which is going to be fun for retail. Also, Paramount has earnings coming out as well. So, a lot of fun stocks to play. Some of those small caps, not to mention lots of retail fun stocks coming out Wednesday after the market ends up closing. For Thursday, we have Celsius, we have Best Buy, and a few others, not to mention Dell after the market closes. Then for Friday, we have Fubo TV and just a few others. So we'll be watching to see how it goes. But all of this is going to be very important, especially Berkshire Hathaway on Monday. We'll see what that causes for the markets. Now, what's going on with Tesla? So I was going over a lot of headlines in my earlier videos. You guys can see more from them. I just want to note that in Sweden we're getting lots of blockades, lots of negative news is coming out involving what's being done over there. And then there's also news coming out about what the Ford CEO is now saying. There's also news coming out that Ford is saying that their EV sales are falling, and that's bad news for Tesla and Rivian. We're actually seeing them getting criticism thanks to this. Rivian's CEO also just said recently, as Rivian is approaching new lows, they said that their overall growth may approach 0% for the year, not looking too strong, and EV sales declines are still looking imminent. A lot of these EV companies are very price sensitive to interest rates. It's the same thing with other car companies. So this is not the best of times for them. Now, if we continue to see more declining share prices, this is just another opportunity, in my opinion, to get those EVs for cheap prices. I'm not scared whatsoever about this. I'm still a big bull long term. But all of this bad news from Ford and Rivian is affecting Tesla. There's also all this news coming out screaming Tesla basically had another recall. I know this article doesn't say it because it's being more honest, but All the other mainstream articles like Reuters, even like Business Insider, they're saying Tesla has a recall. Tesla has to recall 8,700 cars, when in reality, it's just a rear camera bug, which is going to get fixed with the over the air software update. So, very, very minor stuff. It basically includes 1,071 Model S's and Model X's, and then 7,500 Model 3s, which are going to be part of this quote unquote recall. So, it's not a true recall technically, it's just a software update, not the same thing, not the same context, but the media loves to twist things, and this was a little bit negative for Tesla. So the recall news, the negative news involving Sweden and the ports, and this is all followed by the German news that came out that was negative for the gigafactory expansion plans being voted down upon by locals, and then all this bad news from Ford, dropping the Mach E prices and also saying that their EV sales are falling, and Rivian saying the same thing about their growth declining. All of this together is hurting the EV sector, and this is hurting Tesla especially. It is what it is, guys, but there's not really a whole lot I can do about this. Now, on top of this, I just want to call out that Tesla had about 78 million in volume. It's getting less volume than before, and the short volume is actually kind of like at a very moderate place. I also want to note that looking at this, Daiwa Capital gave Tesla a neutral rating. The price price ratio is dropping as Tesla's losing some strength relative to the markets. And then although Mondays tend to be green historically, on Mondays, Berkshire will affect us to some extent, and I'm going to be watching to see how Tesla ends up moving. So, what do I see for the share price? Honestly, guys, I'm going to be very quick with this part of the video. I want to notice that Tesla looks a little bearish to me. If you look at the daily, we look kind of weak right here. We got this rejection off our daily 20 EMA, and I could see this thing declining towards this low right here where this wick is, and we have this imbalance it just happens to like align with that. So it looks like it's going to rebound a bit and eventually make its way down towards this 190 area. And then if it loses that, 188 is coming next. That doesn't mean it's going to crash. It could just drop a little bit, at least temporarily. And I think the market may contribute to that. But once it reaches 188 to 190, we could see an attempt to bounce since we did bounce off that level before. So I could see it dropping a little bit more than trying to bounce. I see the same thing on SPY. I'll talk more about this tomorrow, but just to be blunt with you, wait, hold on. Let me bring up my actual SPY chart. Basically, on SPY, I'm seeing the same thing. So I think that SPY might end up declining just a little bit. It could actually retest this 505 area, 505 to 506, and we'll see if it bounces or not. But I could see a small decline coming. Looking at the daily and stuff, it looks a little weak. I'll talk more about that tomorrow. QQQ might retest 434, and we'll see if it bounces or not as we have that gap support to be watching for. That's going to be key for us. For Aapl, I see something interesting on Aapl. So we have a potential either an inverse head and shoulders like pattern, or it could be forming something different. But if it is an inverse head and shoulders, this could be like a left shoulder and a head. And this suggests that 181.36 could be coming before it tries to bounce. Or if it fails there, our next target is 180. So watch 181.36 and then 180 to see where we bounce. I do think it's going to come down a little bit more, and we'll see where it ends up going from there. But just be prepared for that just to be safe. And then last but not least, we have the knight in shining armor, also known as Nvda. Nvidia is currently at 789 a share. It actually broke below 800. And with this wick down here, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing kind of pushes to 800 again. This imbalance is very close to that, and it comes back down a little bit lower. We might end up testing 775, then bouncing off that. So watch that just to be safe. But with that being said, guys, I want to end the video from here, make this one kind of quick for the weekend. Please have an absolutely spectacular rest of the day. I'll be back tomorrow with more videos. Take care, guys. Enjoy your Friday evening, your Friday night. Have a great time with family and loved ones, and I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you again, guys. Have a good one, and peace out.